This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Yeah, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hey, Jason Glick, what's going on?
Not much, John. It's cold and wet where I am. You?
Yeah, it's cold, but I'm not going to even complain because I know that it's colder on the East Coast. So, you guys had some really cold temperatures back there. So, yeah, it is cold. It is wet. I'm thankful that I live in Southern California, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Indeed.
indeed. So, what do you have on tap for us tonight, sir?
All right, tonight, best of 2017. So, 2017, it's like, well, it was a year. It happened. And, but we're here in 2018, so we live to tell the tale about it. And I won't lie. It's like, there are a lot of good comics here, but I honestly kind of struggled to wrangle this stuff into a best of list, to the point where it's like, while I really enjoyed all the stuff I'm going to talk about for my top 10, it's like there wasn't one that kind of like made me go, it's like, this is it. Like in previous years, like with that volume of The Walking Dead for last year and the Sandman Overture for 2015. So now, that's not to say that I don't think you should all go out and buy my pick for the best of the year and tell your friends about it, because you absolutely should. But I'm just saying, like, this is one of those years where it's like, like I said, it was just a little bit harder than usual, like, to wrangle things together. But that being said, I still got plenty to talk about, including, it's like one like absolutely terrible one. You may be able to guess what it is, but if you've been listening to my podcasts, but it's like, here we go. So starting things off with the honorable mentions category, stuff that was good, I thought it was definitely worthy of mention, but just wasn't quite up there to like snag and mention the top 10. So for that, we have God Country by Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw. Their breakout story of an old man with Alzheimer's who gets the sounds on a mystical sword that restores his mind, but is also wanted by an evil god. It's like several solar systems away. When it comes to telling a human story, it's like with telling a high fantasy story, but with human stakes. This is like textbook. This is like how it should be done. I look forward to reading the Thanos series from Cates and Shaw. It's like when the first volume is collected later this year. Then we have Golden Kamui from Satoru Noda. This was a very entertaining. Early 20th century adventure story. It's about a soldier who winds up getting clued into a hidden fortune that was tattooed on the skins of several different conflicts, and the native girl that he teams up with in order to track down the fortune. Even if it is kind of like a vehicle for the author to display his copious amounts of knowledge about the Ainu culture, and Japan at the time, it's still he still does it in a very entertaining fashion. Also along those lines is The Girl from the Other Side, Siro La Rune. It's by Nagabe. This is very much in the same vein as another former best of the year pick. The Ancient Magus's Bride. It's a very creepy storybook tale about a little girl. Who is who lives with a very, very creepy but very human monster. In the outside, where all the regular humans live on the inside in order to stay away from the curses that are directed by the outsiders. The series, it raises it's the way it's done. It's raising a lot more questions and it's providing with answers, but the mood and look of the series is very unique, and the core relationship between the sensei and the girl is very compelling. And something I really look forward to following. Even if the end result leads to no answers at all. Then we've got the new Jessica Jones series from Brian Michael Bendis and Michael Gaydos. The original Alias was one of Bendis's best stories at Marvel, and the first two volumes of this new one are very much in that vein. While I had my issues with how Bendis threw Jessica's life under a truck, like in the first volume, it's like he did do a fairly decent job of addressing these issues in the second volume, which was also showed that hey, this is more of what I liked from the original series. You've got this character, this talented but damaged private investigator digging into some of the weirder, it's like and less savory corners of the Marvel universe, and it's like, and even though Bendis' output has been, to put it charitably, very uneven, it's like over the last like couple of years, like this these volumes of Jessica Jones show that he can still deliver when he puts his mind to it. So it's like, and that he'll hopefully be going out on a high note, like if nothing else. All right, and then like we've also got The Dark Knight: The Last Crusade, which I read as part of the podcast on the Dark Knight 3, and it's like, while it kind of goes without saying at this point that the sequels to Frank Miller's seminal The Dark Knight Returns did not live up to the standards set to the original. This one, it's probably the closest they've actually anyone's actually come to recapturing the spirit of that work. Like, not only does it tell a tell a story that that's kind of important to the mythos, like how just what happened to Jason Todd. It's like, and while he was working under Bruce Wayne, it's like, and it also shows us just how just how broken down Bruce Wayne had become. It's like as he aged into his role as as Batman. It's like as and the scripting even though it felt more distinctly like Brian Azzarello than his work in The Dark Knight 3 did, and John Romita Jr.'s really strong artwork. Also, like Manch's channel, Frank Miller on definitely one of his better days. So there you go. While it's not a necessary read, it's easily the best Dark Knight related thing that the DC has given us since the original, for what it's worth. All right, so with all the honorable mentions out of the way, let's start with the 10 best. So starting off with number 10 is All-Rounder Meguru by Hiroki Endo. This is a grounded story about a kid who enters into a mixed martial arts club and tries to better himself. It's by learning the ropes there, and also to eventually possibly reconnect with his former friend who's become a real killer on the circuit there. I've really enjoyed Hiroki Endo's work in in Eden and Tenpenshu, and I was thrilled to get another volume, another of his series licensed for U.S. release. Has you more satisfied to see that, hey, it actually turned out to be pretty great too. I mean, yes, it does follow the same kid tries to be the best at X type thing that those Shonen Jump series are, but it's also grounded in in fairly believable teen teen concerns, and also some of the more realistic fighting I've seen. I've seen in manga to date. So now the problem is that there are only 5 volumes available, and no word on whether or not Kodansha is actually going to publish more of it. I'd love to be proven wrong, as they told me when I asked them about this at Comic-Con, but hey, I can only hope that we'll get the rest of it over the course of 2018. And I can only hope if you all start buying it right now. We'll come back to this thought later. Anyway, number 9 is Chew by John Layman and Rob Guillory. Now, this is one of the things I was most looking forward the finale of the series was something I was most looking forward to reading this year. It's like a story about a guy who gets psychic impressions from the food he eats, and Layman has took this oddball premise to just really weird and and funny places. It's over the course of the series, 60 issues and various spin-offs, and Rob Guillory was with him all the way with some really really demented and funny artwork along along the way. Now, the final volume did kind of read like it was I wouldn't say it kind of delivered my feelings of I didn't see that coming. It kind of feels inevitable. It's as if so this is how it's going to end. All right, but then it's going back and rereading the entire series. I really had to appreciate just how well it all hung together. And how it was even if the ending didn't blow me away, I still had to respect just how well Layman had planned things out. So I hear that he and Guillory are planning something new for the near future, and I definitely look forward to seeing what they're trying there after this. Now, also from the Image stable is Volume 2 of Monstrous, The Blood. Now, this is a story of a girl who who's had a godlike power trapped inside her by her mother, and how and about her efforts to try and figure out just why what this power is. And what and what why was it put there, and what purpose should it be used. And also just finding a way to negotiate with said power, because it's also an ancient god that also it was also on really good terms with the empress that forged the current power balance of power that still persists in the world that lives this series exists in today. Volume 2 did a really good job of expanding on the on the world that was introduced in the first volume, and also presenting a really dense read of the kind that you don't see all that much in comics these days. So I can't really complain about that, but rereading the second volume, I really did appreciate just how it's something you really have to it's something that demands your attention, and you can't just burn through. And it does also rewards close attention as well. So and also the cats are utterly fantastic. I love that too. So there you go. Number 7 is another manga, My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness by Nagata Kabi. Now, this was part of a last minute. I'm going to pick up a couple titles to see that have been mentioned on other best of lists to see if they agree with me. Well, this one did agree with me, but it was kind of a painful agreement, really, because it's because the story starts off with a really hard gut punch, as the mangaka tells us, really lays out her issues with interacting with people, and depression. It's and binge eating. That's kind of oh man, this is it feels really true to life, and it's really hard to to read along with this as well. But just if you stick with it, keep going, you'll eventually she just sort of bringing you into her mindset, but also just taking you along with her as things are bad, but they eventually get better as she as she tries to deal with them, and as she gets to know things about herself, as to the point where she arranges an encounter with a female escort, which is part of the title, My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness, and how that goes. So yeah, like I said, it's hard to sit through, but eminently worth it if you if you do. It's like I said, I'm not really a fan of the the stuff that falls into the ruin your day stuff. I mean, it ruined my day, and I'm don't really feel like reading it again. But it's like this title. It's like I would go through it again just because of the. It's one of the series that it's like, hey, it didn't. It looked like it was going to ruin my day, but it didn't. So there you go. Number 6 is Stumptown, Volume 4, The Case of a Cup of Joe. Now, this comes with a caveat because all 4 volumes of Greg Rucka's series about Portland private investigator Dexedrine Parios are all prohibitively expensive in the sense that they're all in oversized hardcovers that will run you about $30. Now, the catch is that I've been enough of a bargain hunter over the years. I've managed to avoid buying all 4 of them at cover price. Now, Oni Press is finally getting around to selling these in softcover editions, at a normal size, as they should have been from the start. But Stumptown Volume 4 was like the first one where I've been the least inclined to complain about this pricing situation, because because while there's been an element of seriousness to all of Dex's cases, they've all been good, but this one is goofy in all the right ways, because it's all about Dex getting a job from a coffee from a hotshot coffee producer to guard his cat shit coffee. No, it's like, really. And it's like, and for all the interested parties. It's like, this includes the barista mafia and a multi-billionaire guy who has his own James Bondish henchman on hand to do his own dirty work. Oh, and also Dex's no good sister Fuji has also blown into town as well, and she's got to deal with that as well. So it's definitely a lot lighter than previous Stumptown adventures, but it's all the more entertaining for it in this case. It's like Rucka tweaks your expectations in just the right way, and Justin Greenwood's art is just spot on perfect for the tone that he's aiming to convey here. So there you go. All right, moving to the top 5 now, we've got New Avengers, AIM, Volume 3, Civil War 2. Now, with a name like that, you're probably wondering, what the hell is that doing here? Well, here's the thing. You wouldn't expect, I know no one in their right mind would expect a Marvel comic with the volume that has a tie-in to one of its least liked events in years, prior to Secret Empire at least. So, to be any good. But here's the thing. This isn't really a tie-in to Civil War II. It's got some nominal ties to it, true, but what this really is the payoff to the first year of stories from New Avengers. Now, I wasn't expecting much when this series came out. I figured, well, okay, it's we'll see what Al Ewing does. I mean, he did some good work on Loki, Agent of Asgard, but he actually did a bang up job on picking up a lot of the threads that Jonathan Hickman laid down from his run on Avengers and New Avengers, particularly the business with Bobby DaCosta buying AIM, and now he's running it himself, and now and he also and also the fact that the evil Reed Richards from his Ultimate Fantastic Four run, known as the Maker, well now now he's plotting his own bad guy stuff in the in the Marvel universe now, and it's up to Bobby's team of Avengers by way of AIM to stop him. And this is the part where the Maker makes his move, and well, now Bobby and his crew have to stop them. This is a perfect example of comic book superhero plotting coming together. The kind of things that I love, the kind of cleverness I love to see in my superhero comics. It's if all Marvel superhero comics came together this well, they wouldn't be in the situation they are right now. It's like, I mean, the bits where like when the makers evil AI Omnitronicus takes actually pulls in all of the it's like the defense weaponry in Bobby's office, and you think it's like oh shit, man, it's like he's gone. It's like how's he gonna be able to stop this? And like as Omnitronicus is saying, like this is the room of your doom, and Bobby's like, wait, you mean this is like a danger room? And you're like, oh shit, man, it's like a danger room. It's like when he was in the X-Men. He's got this. That kind of continuity type springboard plotting is what this volume is full of. And yes, you have to read the first two volumes to really appreciate all the setup that's being done, like to get the payoff in this third volume. But let me assure you, it's going to be worth it. This, like I said, it's one of my favorite. It was my favorite straight up superhero comic, from Marvel or DC. But well, let's just say that the one that's higher up on this list is kind of a different beast. But hey, New Avengers AIM, it's the kind of thing that will help restore your faith in Marvel, just a little. All right, number 4 is the final volume of Granville, Force Majeure. This is a story of Detective Inspector LeBrock matching wits with the evil dinosaur Koenig. It's like as he makes his move to take over, to take over the criminal underworld of London. It's like this is one of the things where it's like as soon as it arrived in the mail, I put all my video game playing stuff on hold and just sat down and read straight through it because the first 4 volumes of this have been pretty great, and God knows, I was definitely looking forward to finding out how everything wrapped up. Well, thing is, it wrapped up pretty definitely pretty well. It's like I think I probably would have picked this for number 1 if it hadn't been for the fact that there are some that there's a long bit at the end where all the background and the major twists are basically explained to you, the reader, which that was fine and all. It's like, I mean, and also if you're familiar with genre conventions, some of the twists are you will be able to see coming. But overall, it's like the art is amazing. The execution is damn near perfect, and it's like I said, the flaws aren't really that bad in the end because creator Brian Talbot has basically said this is going to be his final Granville novel, and this is just good enough to make me go, you know what? All right, it's like let's go ahead and end things now, when we're still on a high note before it's like things have a chance to get worse. So there you go. So all 5 volumes of Granville are very much worth your time. It's like and this final one does end on a very high note. All right, now number 3 is something I was honestly expecting to say was one of the best comics of last year. It just didn't quite hit me in that way. This is I Am a Hero, the story of a mangaka who is somewhat mentally disturbed and also owns his own gun. But this is at a time when Japan is being overrun by a zombie-like plague. And, with the 2 volumes that Dark Horse released this year, it really hit its stride, particularly in the 4th omnibus volume, where our protagonist finally had to step up, and we got to see just how great he was with his with his gun, with his shooting skills, and also how the settlement that he finds himself in, it's populated by all the bad guys you expect in a zombie story, but it's like things, but we also get to see how things kind of play out, play out in interesting how things fall apart in in an interesting fashion. It's like as well as we get to see the like how he gets to know the the former nurse, who's clearly going to be a key player in this series from this point forward. It's like and also the interesting mutated state of the schoolgirl that he had partnered up with in earlier volumes. It's like this, like it's a kind of setup that has some like really intense action. It's like really engaging character drama, especially everything I was kind of expecting from the very beginning, and it's like just everything just clicked here. So that's why it gets the number 3 slot. It's like on my list. Now, talking about that other Marvel comic that's on the list is number 2, Silver Surfer by Dan Slott and Michael Allred. Now, these two guys have been putting out quality Silver Surfer comics for several years now, and while I was expecting that the third volume they did was going to be their last after it was the series was wrapped up prior to Secret Wars, I was really entertained to see the series get another reprieve in its aftermath. Now, well, we got another 14 issues after that, and really they're pretty great too, and as I was getting to see more of more of Dawn and the Silver Surfer, Dawn, who is kind of like the Silver Surfer's female companion. It's exploring the their cosmos. But with this the final volume, A Power Greater Than Cosmic, things took a more emotional turn as Dawn had to deal with her mother's indifference to her existence, and and some family tragedies at home. It's to the point where they wind up retreating from the universe itself. And also in a in some emotional scenes as the as the volume goes on. That really hits on the point that Slott did an excellent job in establishing their relationship together, and Allred's art is just perfectly weird and off kilter to make you enjoy this series. And I also appreciate the fact that Slott is always keyed into the current state of the Marvel Universe, which is why we get a bit with Galactus the Lifebringer. It's in this comic as well. And there's also while the final part of the comic could have been seen as a hopelessly cheesy retcon, as we get the origin of the Silver Surfer's Red on Black Dot's application of the power cosmic. It actually comes off as really, really heartwarming and and worthwhile. So really, it's this is the last we'll be seeing of of the character from these two creators, and it's a very powerful note to go out on. So kudos to Slott and Allred for their strong work here. Now, the very best comic of the year. It's actually something I started reading back last year. A friend of mine turned me on to the scanlated versions of it, because it's a series that took a bit of fantasy convention that I had never considered, and just thought, well, and just clued me into hey, you know what? What do monsters in dungeons taste like? Yep, I'm talking about Delicious in Dungeon. This has been I'll admit, part of my appreciation for this series is also knowing where it's going, but the 3 volumes released here should be an indication to anyone that the series has definitely got the goods. It's about a group of adventurers who were initially wiped out because they had lost their supplies and were completely famished, and now some of the survivors have to go back in to rescue one of their members from a red dragon. But they've got to. But how are they going to maintain proper nutrition while going in there? Well, turns out there's there's a dwarf. It's like who knows all the ins and outs of how to eat, how to prepare a proper dungeon feast. It's like it's a really clever look at it's like at a fantasy dungeon crawl, and something that's been that I've really looked and like the idea of just like how do you prepare these monsters like this, like and it's like it also it's as with any good foodie manga, it also makes like these fantastical dishes look look pretty appetizing as well, but and even though it's like the series may have been hung on a pretty conventional, it's like like a fantasy story, it's like its creator Ryoko Kui has also been slowly slowly dropping little hints as to how how the story is going to expand from here, and as these little hints keep are dropped, it's like the story gains more depth. It's like an interest along the way. I mean, yeah, it's like I'm already current in the series up to up to where it is in volume 5, and I'm going to keep reading the scanlations and keep buying the manga, because God knows she absolutely deserves my money for this fantastic series. In fact, I'm also buying it for. I'm buying it on a regular basis for another friend of mine as Christmas and birthday presents, and also for like I also bought it as a gift for another friend as well, because it's that good. It's a series I really want to evangelize, and yeah, it's like it should be taking the world by storm if there's any justice. So there you go. All right, so that's the best. But what was the worst? Well, this is sadly easy because, well, it's like, well, I'll admit to having a soft spot for The Dark Knight Strikes Again, in the sense that, no, it wasn't good, but at least managed to have enough energy to be entertainingly terrible. Its sequel, The Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, was just plain terrible. It started off with an interesting setup in that it's like, hey, now Carrie Kelly is the Batman, and then proceeded to run away from that with full force, giving us a group of fairly generic Kryptonian Kryptonian supremacist fanatics, and just restoring the whole Superman Batman status quo. It's like that the previous entries in the series had done their best to get away from. It's yeah, it's probably the worst example of the nostalgia fuel that's gripping the industry. Well, I understand the idea to appeal to readers in the sense that we're the good old days back when you read comics on a regular basis, and these comics we're putting out right now are just like that. But it's like the Dark Knight 3 just takes the setup of Frank Miller's Dark Knight universe and just grinds it down into something that's far more conventional and recognizable. Miller has said that he wants to do a Dark Knight 4 after having had nominal co-writing participation in this, but it's like I figured just well, it can't really get any worse, but it's like I'm not sure I actually want to give him or DC any money after reading this. It's terrible, and while you probably didn't need me to tell you to stay the hell away from it, I'm gonna tell you, stay the hell away from it. It's awful. Anyway, but it's like we're not going to end on a downer note like that. Let's talk about stuff to look forward to in the coming year. So along the same lines of Delicious in Dungeon, in terms of scanlated series that I read that are getting a US release, well, we've got Kaguya-sama, Love and War, a romantic comedy series that manages to subvert a lot of the expectations that you have with the romantic comedy genre. Also coming just in time for the movie is Battle Angel Alita: Mars Chronicle. The at least in my neck of the woods, long-awaited follow-up to Battle Angel Alita: Last Order, which ended in a way that wrapped up the a lot of the lingering questions from the original series, but also left the developments from Last Order like unsatisfyingly unresolved. Here's hoping that mangaka Yukito Kishiro delivers the goods with this new series. Also, I kind of hope Marvel really gets its act together, because, like, aside from it's like the constant stream of bad press and bad sales that was greeted with last year, it's like you kind of hope that eventually they're going to be able to turn things around and deliver some really great comics that really bring sales back to to retailers, and deliver us with lots of good comics that we want to read. I'm kind of looking forward to the new Avengers No Surrender weekly comics event, because God knows if you can't get Mark Waid, Al Ewing, and Jim Zub to deliver a quality Avengers weekly series, then there's really no hope for you at all. I mean, yeah, new editor-in-chief C.B. Cebulski has been dogged by bad press with his revelation that he used to write under a Japanese pseudonym. But I think the worst punishment for him would be to put him in this exact situation he is right now, trying to turn Marvel sales around. So, best of luck to him there, because the comics industry needs a strong Marvel, at least until Image is able to take over the world. So there you go. Also, we've got the final volume of Charles Soule's Bonkers science fiction series Letter 44. It's like the first 4 volumes were an entertaining mix of political intrigue and soap opera, just treading a fine line between awful and awfully entertaining. So I'm definitely want to see how we manage to wrap things up here. Also, we've got the final volume of Invincible, Robert Kirkman and Ryan Ottley's long-running superhero series that's been pretty consistently awesome for a good long while now. And it's like I'm really want to know just what Kirkman has in store for this finale. Okay, then we've also got Bendis' move to DC, which, if rumors are correct, he's going to be taking over one of the Superman titles. It's at the company, which hey, I'd like to read more good Bendis comics, and hopefully he'll have something clever to say about Superman. Maybe he'll be able to spark a sales turnaround. For the character, on the level of that Marvel has been trying to spearhead for their own characters. So there you go. Also, there's the announcement last year that Dark Horse had been given the green light to do an original graphic novel about Nintendo's new Switch game ARMS. About the this is the world where people have created their own robotic arms, and they engage in competitions to determine who's got the strongest one. This is interesting. Mainly because it's one of the few times that Nintendo has agreed to license out its characters, to Western publisher at that, and it'll be interesting to see how this does, both creatively and sales wise, because it could be a way of, because after Dark Horse has established some, what I can only assume are some really good ties with Nintendo after publishing their Zelda, their Zelda art and source books and stuff like the art of Fire Emblem Awakening. This could be the first step towards a Nintendo Dark Horse partnership that sees them getting Dark Horse getting the rights to maybe do more comics on Nintendo characters. Hey, a Metroid miniseries that looks to retcon the events of Other M. It could be possible, or maybe ongoing Zelda and Mario comics. No, we'll see. It's as the year goes on, but also it's in terms of manga, it's I'm my main hope here is that we get more news about the future of Hiroki Endo's manga in the U.S. As I mentioned, the only 5 volumes of All-Rounder Meguru have been released digitally in the U.S. with no indication that from Kodansha that they're going to release more. I heard personally from Carl Horn that the Dark Horse is still invested in trying to find a way to release the rest of Eden. It's an Endless World, even if it's like having to reprint the series in 3-in-1 Omnibuy to get some kind of same kind of sales success they had with the Kurosawa Corp's delivery service. They just need to hear back from Kodansha about that. So, it's like any kind of news about the completion of like either of those series will be very welcome on my end, even if it's just word that it's like that they're canceled and we're not going to get any more of them, because like then I could just like give up hope there. But it's like, hey, it's the beginning of the new year, so hey, there's plenty of hope. There should be plenty of hope at this point that hey, something will go right, something, anything, because that's what we need. All right, so John, any thoughts or hopes for the new year on your end?
I just want some good entertainment, man. So
You and me both, man.
I guess we're going to have to see how things shape up. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is if we keep listening to the podcast.
This is true, yes.
Yeah, all right. So, with all that said, do you know what you're going to talk about next week?
Yeah, I just realized I got no clue. It's going to be a surprise, everyone.
Hey, it's going to be a surprise. So that's not a big deal. We'll just have to wait until next time to see what you have in store for us. All right?
Yep.
Cool. All right, and we'll catch you next time on Comic Picks by the Gleg.
All right, laters.